Good morning. How are you, Mr. Gonzalez?
Doing amazing. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. You look amazing, you sound amazing, and I'm truly excited to be here. And thank you. What an honor to be invited to speak on this call. This is a precious call, and I'm excited to be here. And I promise to be very quick with my training today. The training I have today is really marked for about 30 minutes, but I'm gonna knock it out in 15 minutes, Mr. Gonzalez. So I ask that everyone listen very quickly, listen fast. But I do wanna invite before I get started, because you see me, I wanna see you. I know sometimes you can't turn on your camera, but you know what? In the type of business we're in, we can't do our business in the dark. We have to be visible. And so I want to see you. I don't want to feel like you're looking in my window and you see me and I don't see you. That's creepy. So anyways, come on screen with me very quickly, just so I can see your faces. I want to see your beautiful smiles on this Monday. Just pop in, pop out, come on now. Come on, the energy is about to shift. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. Before I got started with Legal Shield, I spent 10 years, and look at all these amazing faces. Oh, look at the baby. Oh my, see, look how my energy shifted just because y'all came on camera with me. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking to a black screen and Daniel and David by themselves. I'm talking to everyone here. Come on now, I see you, Lou. Good to see you. Hey, Erica. Hey, Garland. Hey, Sue Finney. Hey, Night Service. Who else on here? Hey, Terrell. Good to see you. I ain't speaking to no one else because I don't see y'all. Come on, TV. Come on, come on, come on. Let me see you. Anyways, I spent 10 years in the military. I exited as a captain in the Army, returned to corporate America, worked with a few companies, but the very last company I was with found myself in a very challenging situation because I was showing up to work and I wasn't getting paid. I don't know if you've ever been there before, but I'm here to share with you that it's not a good place to be at all. And I was looking for something. I just wasn't looking for this company. Now, I made some great decisions while on active duty. I had money in the bank, so I was living on my bank account. But I know you can agree with me, if you have everything going out and nothing coming in, that's not a good place to be, right? And let me tell you, it goes fast too when nothing else is coming in. And so I went on a search. My friends, my sorority sisters said, hey, Angel, someone's going to call you back. You have your resumes everywhere. And they did call me only to tell me that I was overqualified and underqualified, which are two fancy ways of saying we're not hiring you. So it caused me to be open. And then I got introduced to Legal Shield. Just to shorten the story, first day earned over $500. That got my attention, one, because I needed the money, two, because of this amazing system that's in place today. Hey, Monica, good to see you. Hey, Delvito. Hey, Catherine. And so I didn't have to give the presentation. I didn't have to answer any questions. And not everyone said yes to me. At that point, I was like, baby, how do you turn the 500 to 1,000? And let me tell you, it hasn't been that bad since. Now, as he mentioned, I have moved from one coast to the next. I'm here in sunny Florida, where I feel like I'm on a vacation every single day. I think I'm the new post boy for Florida. And I absolutely love it because of this business and by the grace of God. And so I'm super excited to be here with you today. So I'm going to talk about something that I know, they say in our industry, you really shouldn't guarantee anything or be very careful in guaranteeing, but I'm here to tell you today what I'm going to train you on today, what I'm going to share with you, what I'm going to coach with you, that I've coined as the ACT formula, which has kept me in Performance Club since 2002. Never miss Performance Club, right? So if you want to be in Performance Club, you want to be in the Mass Streak, you want to go Performance Club Pro, you want to go to the next level in your business, then I encourage you to listen up. But I want you to listen up fully, be present, because look, your name is here, but you could be in the bathroom. Your name is here, you could be in the kitchen. Your name is here, you could be outside walking the dog. I want to know that you're here with me, so that if I'm going to spend this energy and time, it is well worth the investment to you all, right? Because we want to return. There's no need in Daniel Gonzalez having this call for 90 days and having so many people sow the seed and no harvest is reaped, because there was no sowers here. There was no one here to reap the harvest. And so I just want you to turn on your video so I can see you and smile, because you make me feel so great when I do. And that's going to be my last request, maybe. My last request, maybe. So look, in this business, we are in a people business, and you already know that, right? You know that we're in a people business. And the real focus is how to get the money in their pocket to go to Legal Shield's pocket for Legal Shield's pocket to go into ours. And if you're like, oh my God, I can't believe she's starting her training out like that, talking about money. Well, absolutely. Because look, even in my favorite book, it says money answereth all things. There's nothing wrong with it. It just means that money makes things happen, right? You pay your rent, you pay your mortgage, you feed your kids, you feed yourself, you pay your car note, you go on vacation, you put your clothes on, right? You get your nails done, ladies, get your hair done, get your lashes done. The point is money does the things that you need it to do, right? It even allows Daniel to go and keep that hair looking the way it looked, that head shining. You know what I'm saying? Smooth sailing, right? It takes money to do certain things. So don't get caught up in that. You want to do things in your community, your charity, your church. You need money. So how do you get to that in our business? Now, what I'm going to say, you've heard from everybody. Hey, Alicia, see you on there. Hey, Ray, you're going to hear it. You've heard it from everyone. So nothing that I'm going to say is new. Just maybe it lands on your ear a little bit differently than it's landed before. I'm going to set you up this week. And I promise if you apply what I'm going to share with you, you will go Mastery at minimum, PC Pro, or to the next level. You choose which one you want. Right? You choose which one you want. You can take all of them if you like, but you have to do everything that I'm getting ready to share with you right now. See, we find people to talk to. We talk to people we find, and then we talk to people who talk to us. So you probably heard those two things, but maybe you don't quite understand the third thing. So we find people to talk to. If you're brand new, you don't really have to look very hard. You just put your list together, right? You put your list together of people that you know. And if you sit down with your coach or mentor, they'll help you expand that list. There's so many different techniques to expand the list based off what you think you remember. And I say that very kindly, but there's so many ways to expand your list. So you find people to talk to. Then you talk to those people you find. And you say, well, what are you saying to them? Well, you're contacting and invite them to come see the information about Legal Shield, right? You want them to see about this Legal Shield membership and this Legal Shield opportunity. But when you're talking to the people you find, you have to talk to people who talk to you. You say, well, Angel, what do you mean talk to people who talk to me? I'm always talking to people who talk to me. No, not necessarily. So here's what I mean by that. Here's what I mean by that. Now listen up. When I say talk to people who talk to you, I mean talk to people who are willing to engage in a conversation about Legal Shield. See, a lot of times we get on the phone with someone. Now, don't mix up the point about building rapport, because you must build a rapport because our business is based on relationships. So you do want to create a relationship. However, if you're on the phone and you're talking to someone, and you know, because you've been here long enough, it doesn't take very long. You know when someone's pulling your string and they're not really engaging in a conversation that's going to lead them to becoming a protected Legal Shield member or becoming a business partner with you, right? They're talking about everything else, and you can tell it's not going to lead you to a membership or an opportunity today. So guess what? They're not talking to you. They just talking. So the goal is to find people to talk to people we find, and talk to people who talk to us. This is going to shorten your time frame, right? See, we have what, 3 weeks left in the month. July is the pivotal month. It's Freedom Month, right? We celebrate freedom in this month, and freedom is not free. Freedom is not free. You got to work for it in some form or fashion. And so with that being said, if you want this to be the pivotal month for you that turns everything around, that sends you where you want to go by end of 2021, right? That puts you exactly where you say you want to land. And you can get there if you choose to. Now, your detours may look crazy. You know, your stop signs may keep you stopped for a little bit longer, but you can always get back on track. And I'm going to share with you today, somebody has been missing maybe one, maybe two things that I'm going to share with you today in my ACT formula. So if you haven't taken notes at this point, which I hope you were, I want you to write down the acronym, which stands for, it's an acronym, but the word ACT. And I love this because when I look at this word ACT and I look at my calendar, I can tell, like, if my business doesn't look the way I want it to, if I didn't write the memberships I wanted to write, I didn't recruit the people I wanted to recruit that week, if it just seems off, I didn't have any game plans, I didn't have any, private Zoom calls or whatever, I know that I didn't act accordingly in my business. You say, well, Angel, what are you talking about? Well, each one of those letters stand for something, and they're independent and interdependent. Someone put in the chat independent, and someone put in the chat interdependent. It lets me know that you know exactly what I'm talking about. Independent and interdependent, meaning that you need both. They have to stand alone, but you also need them to do something. So, okay, so we started 5 minutes late. So I got 5 minutes and 50 seconds to say what I have to say here, okay? So here it comes. So let's start with the letter in the middle, right? Might as well start in the middle. Why not? So the letter is C. You see that word, and now you can think of the C being everything, but this is something you all know. It's calls. How many of you call people in your business? Just show me by a show of hands, wave at me, put the thumbs up, whatever. Perfect, perfect, perfect. How many of you make a goal for the number of people you're going to call? Let me just see that. Okay, great. As a matter of fact, let me see the numbers that you put down for the number you call. What is your commitment that you put down? Now, know this, commitment in our world means what? Doing the thing you said you would do long after the feeling you said it in has left you. That means no matter what shows up, the baby is screaming, your honey gave you some honeydews where you got to run out and do 50 things you wasn't expecting to do that day, right? Maybe you're single and all of a sudden things popped up and now you got to handle it because if you don't, it doesn't happen. So I want to hear, now I see a 50 to 100. I need a solid number. See, that's the first thing. I need you to commit to a number. What's the number? Is it 20, 15, 5, 10, 50, 30? Just you don't have to, and look, don't compare yourself to anyone else. Don't say it to sound great. Just put a number down that you will commit to today. And if you haven't been really committing to a hard number for your number of calls, then I'm going to ask that you give yourself grace to recommit today. Right? That's all it's about. You can recommit, right? You can recommit to the commitment. It's very easy. As a matter of fact, if you haven't been giving yourself permission to do that, allow me to give you permission today to recommit. As a matter of fact, write that word down. So when it's a little off for you and things are happening, just look and say, recommit, just recommit. Okay, perfect. So I see 10, 15, 20, 25. All right, I love it. I love it. I love it. So that means you made that commitment that no matter what happens today, that will be the number of calls you make, right? Now, how many of you have done those calls and you're like, man, nobody's answering. Nobody's doing anything. This is crazy. You know, nobody wants to do Legal Shield. Anyone find yourself in that situation? But I'm going to tell you why that happens. It's because you're missing the other two parts of Angel's formula. And I'm so glad to meet you today. Now, I'm not saying this from an obnoxious point of view, but I'm saying it because this is what helped me before I even got into Legal Shield. And once I got into Legal Shield, I was able to really make this firm and better. So I know that it works. It's not that I think it works, that it might work. I know. Okay. As a matter of fact, that if you follow this formula, you can't help but to end this month at Mad Streak, Performance Club Pro, or the next level, just depending on how you employ this formula. So what happens is a lot of people make the goal for call, but they forget the other two, independent, which is also interdependent, go together goals. So let's start with the last letter, which is T. T stands for talk to. How many of you have ever made a goal of the number of people you're going to talk to for the day? Oh, no hands. That's where it drops. See, this is the problem. I'm about to change your business right now. Somebody going to the next level today, right? The T stands for talk to. So now you need to make a goal for the number of people you're going to talk to. Now, when I talk about this formula, be realistic. Don't try to sound all great, because to actually do this goal, sometimes you don't need high numbers because it may take you the whole day to get there. And I'm going to make sense in just a minute. So earlier I saw Daniel put up that he makes 20 calls a day. Is that correct, Daniel? Nod? Okay, perfect. So these are just numbers I'm throwing out. He makes 20 calls a day. Let's say he decides today, I'm going to commit to talk to 5 people. Like, my day is not complete unless I talk to 5 people, right? Because remember, we find people to talk to, and we talk to people we find, and then we talk to people we talk to. So when we talk to people we find, they may not always talk to you about Legal Shield. They may say, hey, Daniel, how you doing? I just saw your call, but I can't talk to you right now. That's okay, because we know recruiting is a series of exposures. And so sometimes just hearing your name, seeing your face pop up, it brings Legal Shield. Sometimes you're not even calling them about Legal Shield, right? You just want to say hello because you're building that relationship. And they say, oh, I blah, 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 right? They do it in our team, and they do it as prospects. Okay. So Daniel makes a goal to talk to 5 people. Well, he calls 20 people, but he didn't talk to 5. Anyone ever make 20 calls your goal and you didn't talk to anybody? And you feel good about yourself. Yes, you made that goal, but this is what's going to take your business to the next level. Daniel can't stop because he made a commitment goal for his T to talk to 5 people. Does that make sense? So that means he's got to keep calling until he what? talks to 5 people because it's its own independent goal, but it's also connected to the C, right? It's gonna make sense in a minute. Okay, so you got that. I'm gonna have to stop. I'm gonna slow it down. I gotta go. So let me just move to the next one. There's so much more to go with this, but if you could just get this little bit and understand it and just apply it, I promise you, it's gonna change you, right? You're gonna hate me, but you're gonna love me in the end, okay? And so the A stands for appointments. Now, I use this a lot when I would go in person, but now, man, you can make this number whatever you want because we can do it virtually, whatever, right? So the A stands for appointments. Now here it could be, the point is you getting in front of someone, not some random appointment, like this person, you know, is watching the video, they're getting on the Zoom, they're doing a 2-on-1, a 1-on-1 with you online. Now that we're open, you're sitting down in person with them. Okay, I just hit it. So can I have 3 minutes? Because if not, I'm gonna stop. Oh, keep going. Okay, so I'm gonna give you the 3 minutes. Okay, so the A stands for appointment. So let's say in this example, Daniel said he's gonna call 20 people, he's gonna talk to 5, and he's gonna set 2 real appointments. Now you can't, look, with this formula, you can't help but to win. I will guarantee you that you will have appointments every day. Why? Because my formula dictates that you do. Okay, so now we talk to people who talk to us. Now, this is someone who is engaging in a conversation regarding the Legal Shield membership and the Legal Shield opportunity. That's how he's going to get his 2 appointments. But if Daniel calls 20 people, and let's make it perfect, he calls 20 people, talks to 5, but no one will set an appointment with him. The commitment was 2. That means Daniel can't stop. That means he's got to keep calling, keep talking until what? He gets his 2. Does that make sense? Now let's make it the other way around. Let's say Daniel starts making his 20 dials and the first 2 people he gets on, he talks to, and they both set an appointment. Well, he hit his goal of appointments. Does he stop? No, because he still has 3 more people to talk to in his talk to goal, and he still has 18 more calls to make. Does that make sense? See, they're independent and they're interdependent. And so if you act in your business every single day based on your committed goal, you can't help but to win. Does that make sense? That's your missing piece. That is your missing puzzle. So now you can stop saying, well, ain't nobody answering. Nobody wants to see Legal Shield. No. You just didn't talk to enough people. Does that make sense? Somebody is waiting for your conversation. You didn't get to them because you stopped. Got me so far? So it's not what's stopping you, it's why did you stop? And every time I'm not happy in my business, and I keep tick marks, right? So I can show you my calendar for years, and you can look and say, girl, you didn't act that week, right? Oh, girl, you was acting crazy that week, right? Because I can see I got 40, 50, 60, 80, 100, 200 calls, you know, talk to 15 people, talk to 20 people, set 7 appointments. Sometimes I make 50 calls, talk to 3 people and get no appointment set. You understand? And so I know when it's not right, because sometimes I do just focus on my call goals, but I know it's not right because it's my formula. I created it, and I know when I'm not doing right. But today, for some of you who didn't know you were missing the things in your cake of success, I hope that I've given you something today that totally shifts your business. Because it doesn't matter what you learn, right? It's in the activity. And this is another way when you hear people say, don't focus on your results, focus on your activity. And it just frustrates the heck out of you. It's because you are only focusing on one part of the formula. But if you focus on all 3, it forces you to get off the phone. You don't have time to think. You can't even focus on those results because you're trying to get to what? Your committed goals. Because you know, if you do those committed goals, you got appointments, you know they're going to see the information. And you know, if they see a full information, 50% will sign up for the membership, 20% will become associates. Now, it doesn't mean immediate over time, but if you do enough of those every single day, you make 2 appointments a day at minimum. You know how many appointments that is a month? How many that is in a week? That's seeing a solid presentation. Come on, you can't help but to win. And so with that, Mr. Daniel Gonzalez, thank you so much for having me on here. I pray that it was a blessing, not a burden, and that it will totally shift someone's business this week, this month, and someone becomes mad. You get in the mad streak. you become Performance Club qualified, Performance Club Pro, because you want to go to Maui, right? Or you go to the next level. And for those of you who I'll see in Cabo, y'all think I got a 10 now. Wait till I get to Cabo. It's going to rocket. And so I'm super excited. And I turn the call back over to you, sir. Thank you so much. And thank you for those who popped on camera with me. Truly appreciate it. All my love.
That was fire. You guys know when you watch a training or you listen to a speaker and you feel like they're talking right at you, you're like, hey, like you feel like they're putting you on blast in front of everyone. Oh my goodness, that was fire, Miss Stevens. Thank you so much for that. I mean, I think you're gonna upset Miss, my wife Rebecca. I'm about to tell her, hey, we're not going to Cabo. I gotta apply the missing steps to my formula and try them out this week. I can't wait a week to do this. So super excited about going to Cabo and seeing you there hanging out. But guys, that was amazing. Hey,